we are finally on our way to the Bahamas. A very rolling night last night, but we are finally on our way to the Bahamas, so that's kind of exciting. It is a little after 4 a.m. and we just threw off the mooring ball and we're boarding in the dark right now, so first time in the dark for us too. And Dan's doing a great job at the helm. We're just trying to get out of this reef area and then we'll be in open ocean.
So after spending 3 weeks in the Keys for repairs, we started to make our way east. No matter how much we had prepared for this moment, the apprehension was still palpable. Crossing oceans is no laughing matter, and being new sailors, we certainly knew that if things went wrong, they usually did so in spectacular fashion. No, but this is why we got into sailing in the first place, to put the sails up and to head into the unknown.
Anywhere near Gun Cay. We're gonna end up like 40 miles north. So we're gonna end up probably even north of Bimini, so we'll have to do a little U-ey once we get out of the Gulf Stream. And unless the wind changes a little bit and we can change a few degrees. But yeah, we just like our lines went like that, like so. You can just see the curve of the Gulf Stream as we hit it. We started going up, and then I'm like, whoa. So much for Honeymoon Harbor, which was maybe the anchorage we were going to hang out at. I hear it's pretty beautiful. So, you know, it's all Bahamas, so everything will be beautiful. We'll enjoy it once we get there. We are motoring because we want to make the crossing fast. Unfortunately, because of the wind as well, we need to throw the motor on. And I really didn't want to, but I mean, otherwise it would take us 24 hours to do this 50 miles. So, sorry, motor. Sorry, not sorry. Ah, we see land! We see land! We live! See trees? So, one ocean crossing under our belt. We're about 4 miles from land. Pretty cool. I'm glad we made it. Personally. I was giving us a 50-50 chance. We made it to the Bahamas. We in the Bahamas. That's what we're talking about. Right there. That's what we're talking about. So yeah, 13 hours and a lot of yelling and a lot of mess, but we made it. So now, just decide what we're gonna do from here. I don't know what we're gonna do. Where we're gonna go. That's the bank out there. So that's about 60 miles to the tongue of the ocean. And we've got this little anchorage by Gun Cay, and hit some rocks already. Yeah, it was good. Hit some rocks. But now we're in a nice little patch of sand. I think we're holding pretty good. So now it's time to dive on the anchor and have a beer.
end, our navigation ended up being spot on, and we only landed about 4 miles off our intended destination. It certainly felt amazing to have accomplished our first crossing without incident.
Okay, well, it is pretty much a picture-esque version of a Bahamian anchorage, but as beautiful as it is rolly as get out. So we're pretty uncomfortable. So we're gonna weigh anchor and we're gonna head to. There's another anchorage. Looks like by the airport on Gun Cay. So we're gonna see if that's a little better, and then we'll just take an afternoon. If it isn't, then we're just gonna start crossing the bank because there's just no point in being uncomfortable. And if we're gonna be uncomfortable, we might as well be uncomfortable underway, making some distance. Okay, you're not gonna see this very often, but Dan's got his hat off. So we were headed to shore to check into the Bahamas. We decided we were just gonna do it because we're gonna hang out for the afternoon and leave tomorrow to go wherever else we're gonna go. Not sure if we'll cross the bank. We met some people. We ended up anchoring right next to 2 other tartans, 137, hull number 25, right? Mm-hmm. And another tartan C. And
it's crazy.
So that's cool. And they came over and said hi, which we love. And they were thinking bad idea to go across the bank. So I mean, we'll talk to them and find out. Sounds like they've sailed around quite a bit. Okay, we're heading to check in. Oh, is that it? Oh, yeah. The one that says Customs and Immigration. Jeez. Does it get any more beautiful? So Chris is filling out the forms.
So exciting.
There's Krista with her, it's not so good with the knots.
No. I'm not. This was
really?
I'm not the one who tied it.
Chris, it only goes one way, so just pull on the...
It doesn't, but it's around it, so I need it to...
See what I'm saying?
Logic, Dan. No, you don't have it. Are you gonna start the motor? Start the engine.
That is what Krista is trying to get undone. But we'll be here for half an
We
hour.
have way too long of a line. There.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Is the motor started? Because it doesn't seem like it is. Ready?
Okay. We're checked in. So at least we made good use of the time that we ended up staying today. And it was very easy to check in. Very easy. And they even helped us out with our dog permit.
Unfortunately, Customs wouldn't allow us to film the check-in process, but they were very easy to work with, and we would definitely recommend checking in at CAC to anyone.
So Krista, who are we here with?
She's no idea.
The...
Yes.
Do you remember her name?
Breena.
Breena. Later that night, we had invited the boats next to us to come over for happy hour, and it just so happened that one of the boats was a fellow YouTube sailing channel called Sailing with the Litzenbergers that I had actually subscribed to. Once they heard about our anchoring issue, they were gracious enough to all of a sudden show up with an anchor bridle, and they just gave it to us. It was just another example of how amazing the sailing community can be.
I didn't realize that you're the Sailing with the Litzenbergers.
Oh, yeah?
We're sailing on a whim.
Oh, excellent. I'm gonna hook you up though.
Oh, look at this.
So this is the wrong size chain hook, but this is an excellent bridle, and it should work for you guys.
So I just need a new hook.
Yeah, and I think it'll work for now.
Look at this. We met this guy 10 minutes ago. He's already hooking up with a bridle, anchor bridle.
We can't really thank those guys enough. I honestly think that bridle might have saved our boat only a few days later when we got hit with our first big storm. Not only did they gift us with a bridle, but they gave us some great advice on where to cruise over the next few months. I really want to give a big thanks and shout out to Breen and Spencer from Sailing with the Litzenbergers for everything. Even though it was a short meeting, it was one of the most valuable of our entire trip. After getting some good advice from Spencer and Breena, they recommended we head north to the Abacos instead of east due to the prevailing easterly winds, which would make for a really hard sail directly into the wind. A side benefit of our new route was that we would be going right by the wreck of the Sapona. The Sapona is an old concrete cargo steamer that ran aground during the hurricane of 1926 and is now a famous attraction and dive spot. So our plan was to stop and do some snorkeling and then try and find a good quiet anchorage before making our next crossing north to the Abacos. The Sapona was built by the Liberty Ship Company in North Carolina, and it was initially used as a casino and then for oil storage. The Sapona was later moved to Bimini, where it was used as a warehouse for alcohol during the era of Prohibition. In 1926, the ship ran aground in a hurricane and broke apart. But later, during World War II, the wreck was used for target practice by the U.S. Army Corps, and the famous U.S. Flight 19, a group of torpedo bombers, vanished while returning from a bombing run to the Sapona. Many speculate due to the flight operating in the Bermuda Triangle. Pretty cool history for one single ship, don't you think?
Well, we just got to our anchorage after diving on the Sapona, the wreck. We picked the perfect spot. Yeah, we picked a good spot. It is just pristine here. We're like maybe 150 yards from shore. You know what we get to do tonight? We have a fire. A fire. I'm gonna burn some stuff. I'm excited. I've been wanting to have a campfire for, well, the last 3 days. But I'm gonna get one today. I'm just worried. I'm wondering if the no seams might be bad, but it's a nice beach. Wow. I'm pretty excited, actually. I mean, you can swim to shore, easy. But we're gonna take the day.
I saw you down the motorway. There was something about you that day. I can still hear the shimmering sound. The hill is near, let's get right up. Walk up to the very top. We couldn't tell the sky from the ground. I know my life will never be the same after that day. You wrap me around your fingers and you stay. I don't ever wanna be alone again. In spite of all, you're my best friend.
Next time on Sailing on a Whim, we head north toward the Abacos and find a very cool anchorage inside an abandoned resort development called Jinsurmer. We have fun exploring the ruins and start making preparations for crossing the bank to the Sea of Abaco. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to support our channel, please consider becoming a patron by following the link in the description of this video.
Oh, we're gonna try some of this Bahamas Gumbe Punch. That's good.
We're gonna swim with some sharks. I'm really excited. Dan seems nervous.